we call Hockey Canada's game, unless you go to Whistler, British Columbia, because that is the only place you'll find in this country that'll show a Game 7 overtime game where everybody in the bar doesn't care when a goal is scored for a team to move on. And that
who cared less, the people in Whistler or the people at MSG? Because I watched that game and they were a pretty shitty crowd up until that goal was scored.
There are a lot of like famous people though.
They're terrible.
Well, have you seen MSG?
They're terrible.
Just get season. You can't get Ranger season tickets. You can't get. They go by. You buy the seat. So it's like to buy the seat. Like say like where you see the famous people like in between the Blues. It's like $300,000 for that seat.
Okay,
and then you get it for every event.
All I'm saying is I watched. There was about a minute and a half left in the game, and the Capitals iced the puck, and the Rangers got a face-off in the other end. If that happened here, you wouldn't be able to hear yourself think. Everyone there was sitting down. They weren't even cheering. They're like, okay, yeah.
And I know what that is.
2 minutes left in the Game 7, and you... Embarrassing. Sorry, how do you thought?
No, I thought it was kind of weird where... Because I was in Whistler I was in BC and Seattle and Washington. It was all on the west side all last week. And, first of all, I gotta say, there was a hockey game. Game 1 of the Tampa Bay series started at 10 a.m. 10 o'clock in the goddamn morning on the West Coast.
Isn't that awesome, though?
It's so weird. It's weird.
Oh, yeah, weird factor. It's like World Juniors. Remember those for us?
Yeah.
Dude, for World Juniors, for them, it'd be at like 1 in the morning. Because remember us, it was like 3. And we were like, pulling my driver quietly so my parents said that no one wakes up. And I just opened the door, like, let's do this. Let's go watch Canada.
Hey, one's like prime time.
Well, one's awesome.
Like the other no, it's just it was just kind of weird. But where was I going with this? Yeah, no, I was in Whistler and literally nobody gave a shit about the game that was on TV. And it's nothing against the people in there. They're all from Australia and other parts of the world like UK, and they're not there to watch hockey. They're there to party, go on the slopes, whatever.
Are there still slopes there?
They're still snowboarding.
Really?
Yeah, at the top of the mountain.
Snow all year round.
What?
Yeah. Not like the main mountain. Right now, or last weekend, they had their like big biking thing there. But up until probably, I would say, beginning or late April, the base of the mountain is probably still snowboardable. It's just like at the peak of the mountain, it's still like -5 up there. Whoa. So they still get snow and everything. It's just
BC's like the only place you can go snowboarding and golfing in the same day.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. That'd be fun, but it'd be weird.
It would be, but yeah.
So Whistler, are you saying BC or just?
No, it's just Whistler. No, BC, like Vancouver, you're there and you can really tell they're into their Canucks stuff.
Did you Did you see any billboards with like Canucks and stuff, or did you drive by?
No, we drove by Rogers Center. Yeah,
and it's big.
It's huge.
It's gigantic.
I've been there before, right?
Oh, it's bigger than MTS. Obviously.
Oh, by far, yeah.
That's the one thing that like I've noticed.
And BC Place is nice too.
I've only been to 2 NHL arenas, XL Energy Center, so Minnesota, and then ours. That's the one main difference. That like ours, it's a big building, but like every other NHL arena that I've come across, the only one, it's like, damn, that's a building. It's so much bigger. Like every other arena, I'm trying to think, is there any other arena that's like kind of, like just it appears as though you're like, maybe that could be an arena, I guess. Well, MSG is like in a huge place.
If you think about it, like MSG is like the ice is on the 5th floor, right?
Yeah,
like, that's where the arena is, on the 5th floor. You have Scotiabank Center, which is where Ottawa plays, and that's in a mall. Like it's a mall too.
Oh, apparently. Is it?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, and then you have jobbing.com, Phoenix or Arizona.
Yeah, that's also huge. I've been there as well. And then you have Air Canada Centers. There's a mall attached to it as well. Like they're multi-purpose centers too. Like they're not just like one center. Like I was in Seattle on Saturday and I took a tour of the Seahawks stadium. They have a 7,000 seat auditorium that connects to their football field that they do all their events out of. They do a few events. Like their concerts and stuff. Yeah.
7,000, that'd be a good number. That's like a good like halfway number-ish.
Yeah, it's they have like that's where a lot of the people go and it's kind of cool. And if there's a city that they're talking about a hockey team could do well there. Holy crap. Well, okay, they've bought into the Seahawks and the Seahawks were almost dead. Like not dead, but like they weren't doing super well and now every storefront has 12 in it. for 12th man. Like, everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
it's insane.
Mariners they're never terrible. They're always pretty
still
good.
40,000, and they're one of the worst teams in the AL.
Basketball failed there. America's game failed in that city.
Baseball, and it's now football is America's game. No one cares about basketball.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Basketball
is a lot more popular
it didn't fail. No, it didn't fail.
They needed an arena, and they didn't. The owners at the time were like fucking over the team. They were like, "No, we're not building it." The owners didn't wanted to sell the team, but from what I get, this is absolutely nothing what I know in the NBA. But from what I gather and from what I heard, the owners basically fucked the team and the city out of that team because they didn't want to. They didn't want to use their own money to build the arena. They didn't want to be like the city. Hypothetically, they're like, "We will give you $200 million, but you have to match it." They were like, "Nope, we're not doing it."
Did they not want to, or did they not think it was?
The owners didn't want to. The city still wanted.
Did they not think it was worth the investment?
They weren't terrible. They won, didn't they, Seattle?
I don't think they ever won, but they were still decent
overall.
But no,
their last season there, they drafted their last draft, Kevin Durant. Look at him; he's a superstar.
OKC, they were never a bad team. It was just the sense that, and it's not that they couldn't support the team. It was the sense that the owners didn't support the team. That's where the difference was.
That's an interesting case. Have we ever had that in hockey? Where like
you could technically say Winnipeg's old team was like that too.
Where the owners didn't want to support the team anymore.
Kind of. Whoa.
Thrashers.
Yeah, that too.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Owners didn't want to keep losing money. They didn't want to pay more money and they never put money into the team.
Like the owners?
Yeah. So
you never reinvest in your brand, you're never going to get a return on it.
Exactly.
Their lease on the team wasn't up. They sold the team.
Yeah.
How does that work when, I guess Greg, or whoever knows this, when, say the lease isn't up on an arena and you own it. Okay, say I own the Jets.
Okay.
There's 10 years left in the arena, and there's 10 years left in the arena, a part of the agreement, but I want to sell it today, and I sell it. Now, part of the money that I get for the sale, it's automatically taken away from me to buy out the rest of the lease then? Is that how that works?
I would assume so, yeah.
And then you get the rest? Or say, you own a business and you declare bankruptcy, is it? Because bankruptcy now, if it's like copyrighted, it's like its own entity. So you wash your hands clean, boom. It says you went bankrupt like with the business, but it doesn't go after your assets because technically a bankruptcy as a sports team technically is like wiping your hands clean. It's its own entity, so it just never wasn't someone can buy that team out. Is that how that works?
Kind of. Bankruptcies are very difficult to explain in such a short instance. Plus, we're a hockey podcast.
You do pretty much.
Okay, basically,
you pretty much wipe your hands of it, but it's not like you can just go ahead and turn around and
buy another team.
So looping back though, so you can't just go buy another team. It's like it's over. You're not getting anything after this.
Wow.
When you declare bankruptcy, you can't get a credit card or anything, or a loan for 10 years, right, or something crazy. Yeah. Maybe a little less now, but I know back in the day it was 10 years. Yeah. But looping back to Seattle, everyone bought into the Seahawks. I already know they like the Mariners.
Yeah, and I think it could work there. I don't know why they're looking in Las Vegas, but it could work in Seattle. The way that we got to this was Game 7, New York, Washington. That was on Wednesday night, and New York won it, which they took the series, which means they beat Washington. Washington once again loses in a 3-1 series.
They won 2-1, goal by Derek Stepan. The only way it could have been worse, I like Stepan actually, to be honest, is if it was Kreider or Martin St. Louis. McDonough, he just has a face, but I appreciate him as a player.
He has a face.
He has a face.
Good for him.
I'm glad he has a Kessler face. Just don't like it.
Oh. I thought you liked Ryan Kessler.
I hope he had a face.
I like Ryan Kessler I appreciate what he does.
You know what
I appreciate his hockey ability, but he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's it. I'd love him on my team.
Perry.
Some crazy.
I said this 2 weeks ago. We've all seen the story before, and the Rangers always win.
Here's a crazy, just weird stat you were saying about once again. Well, Rangers or Caps in the last 4 series, the last 4 years, last 4 times they played. Wins, Rangers have 13. Caps have 13. Goals, Rangers have 52. Caps, 50. Shots on goal per game, Rangers, 30.8. Caps, 30.2. In the last 4 series they played. And, the Rangers, since they won, they're 9-5 all-time in Game 7s since 1992, and they're 7-0 at home in Game 7s. And Lundqvist in the last game, Lundqvist, he's 6-0 with .973 save percentage in his last 6 Game 7s. He's tied Brodeur and Patrick Roy for most career Game 7 wins. Now here's the creepiest one of them all. I saw this on Twitter. Henrik Lundqvist in his last 3 Game 7s. May 13th, 2013. Makes 35 saves. Rangers win Game 7. May 13th, 2014. Henrik Lundqvist makes 35 saves. Rangers win Game 7. And what happened again? May 13th, 2015. Henrik Lundqvist makes 35 saves. Rangers win Game 7. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. I saw that. Cool. Yeah, that's really weird.
That's some voodoo right there. So now Rangers are in the conference final. Mm-hmm. But there's the other team to be determined in that conference was actually determined the night before in Tampa. Tampa closes out Montreal, which finally proved that you can only go so far with an MVP goalie. You need other players around him. And clearly, Tampa's got those players. So
yeah, actually, Ben Bishop becomes the first goalie to beat the Habs 9 times in a season since a goalie by the name of Glenn Hall in 1960-61.
It's a long time ago.
That's a long-ass time ago. In a Lago, kick a poo.
I wonder if Glenn Hall remembers that.
He was probably, I'm assuming he's still kicking around. So
I'm just wondering if... Cause...
Oh, yeah, it would be like, I remember. Did this happen before or after? Callahan's emergency appendectomy.
That was before Game 7.
That was crazy.
Or before Game 6.
What is an appendectomy?
Take your appendix
out. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a quick turnaround.
He's a hockey player. Yeah. He's not a basketball player. He'd still be out if he's a basketball player.
He should not have been playing.
Well, they probably did it. Well, apparently you can do like an incision version and get it out real quick.
Yeah,
but the turnaround's probably still like a week. And
your incisions have to heal.
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
No, I know he doesn't care. I'm just saying he shouldn't be playing.
It's for the Stanley Cup Final.
Your incisions have to heal. I just want to say...
The guy blocks 30 shots a game. He's going to play.
That's true. I just want to say about people getting healed. Well, on Sunday, I watched WWE Payback, and Dolph Ziggler headbutted Sheamus and got 10 real stitches and fought the next night. Okay,
Cam's all into the wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just too
and so the Bolts take on the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. First time they have ever played each other in playoffs.
Cool.
Ever.
Cool.
I like that. That's sweet.
Wasn't it the first time the Ducks and the
Hawks this is the first time all these teams are playing each other, like in the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Tampa Bay owns the Rangers. At least this year they owned them. They own the record 3-0. And one thing I just want to take away from this season series, apart from Tampa Bay scores a lot, is shots for. Tampa had 80, and they had 15 goals. Rangers, 70 shots. Rangers never stop shooting, like ever. That's the one thing that even if they have a shitty team, they always find a way to get shots on net. It's ridiculous. But Game 1, what happened?
New York won.
Did you see the game?
No.
It was at 10 in the morning. What were you doing at noon? That the game.
What day was it? That was
Saturday afternoon. You golfing maybe? No, that was Seattle tour. That would have been the tour.
We were going. We're doing Seattle tour. So.
Well, the Rangers won 2-1 with 2 minutes and change left. Dominic Moore scores off his shin from a miracle toss on net from Kevin Hayes.
Sorry if there's a guy there's a couple guys on New York I'd love to see win a cup. One of them is Dominic Moore.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. As much as I crap talk Martin St. Louis, he deserves another one. Rick Nash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah. Carl Swagelin? Are you joking me? Oh, yeah, Carl Swagelin.
Chris Kreider?
No, not Chris Kreider. Never. Ever.
Keith Yandel?
If Kreider played on any other team I liked, I'd probably like him, but because it's the Rangers, I just can't do it. The only way I would dislike Chris Kreider more is if he played on the Canucks. That's the only way I dislike him more. I'd like him more if he played on the Pens, and that's saying something. Game 2 of this series. Oh!
Whoa,
yeah!
Oh,
Dan, did you watch it?
Parts.
It was 6-2.
Goal.
Yeah.
Goal.
I saw
You gotta go. Tyler Johnson gets the rest of the goals.
Tyler Johnson scores. It might not actually be it. Okay, he scored that one. Tyler Johnson scores again. Is it Tyler Johnson? Oh, he scores again.
Yeah, but the game was the game was a blowout, but it wasn't a blowout.
Yeah, I know.
They scored their last 3 goals at the end of the game.
Yeah,
it wasn't a blowout.
6-2 Bolts.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
Tyler Johnson becomes the first Lightning player to get a hat trick in the playoffs, and the first one to do it in this fashion: shorthanded power play, even strength.
Wow.
Who's the last player to do that in the playoffs?
3-on-5.
Claude Giroux?
You're damn right. Against the Pens in the best series there ever is or was. That was a game that they won 8-2 or something, where Couturier got a hattie and Giroux. I'm pretty sure I brought this up
Tyler Johnson has 12 fucking playoff goals this year.
Go to Tyler Johnson's Hockey DB if you can.
Okay.
And tell me his career playoff points and goals. and then pull up Rick Nash's career playoff games played and
probably
goals.
got more. He's got 12 goals.
He's got to be close. Well, you do that.
The leading guy in the playoffs last year only had 14.
Let's
period. Gabrick.
Let's take our picks in the series. New York, Tampa. Let's do it right now.
Tampa in 6.
Ooh, I took Tampa in 7.
I have Tampa in 6 as well.
Okay.
What player do you want?
Oh, because I finished last?
Because did I finish second?
Yeah, you finished second, so I finished second. Okay. I will stick with Steven Stamkos.
I will pick Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, carryover rule. That's fine. I'm not going to sweep Tyler Johnson.
Okay.
Okay, that's all right. That's okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the stats on Tyler Johnson?
No, I'm not on Wi-Fi, so it's...
Oh, you're not on Wi-Fi?
Not on Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Okay, well, we go all the way over to the west.
I'll get there.
Anaheim Ducks taking on the...
Taking
on the Chicago Blackhawks. Greg, you have to fish it. Now, let me give you a visual at home. Greg's just holding his arm in the air trying to grab that
internet.
Cancer-ridden internet that somehow is going to steal all my sperm.
It's going to help.
I don't know.
It's going to help.
Okay, game 1. Did you watch this game at all, or anyone watch this game?
Which
Ducks
day was
versus
this?
Hawks.
Was this Friday or Sunday?
I lied.
This
was Sunday? This was Saturday.
No, it was
Friday?
Sunday. It was Sunday.
Yeah,
it was Sunday.
Oh, right. Okay.
I watched the first period.
What did you think of this before I go into what I thought of this?
I didn't see any of it, actually.
I thought Chicago dominated them.
What? Real?
In the first period.
Oh, okay, maybe that's why. I only watched the second and third.
Oh, yeah.
Ducks won.
I was watching the Canada game, that's right.
Ducks won 4-1. From the period and a half I watched, the Ducks just completely dominated. That's fine. Game 2 of this series was last night. It went into triple OT. Hawks winning 3-2. Goal by Marcus Kruger. And
my boy Marcus Kruger.
What did NHL.com their title was? Right on the mark, or like marked man or something. They're so good at titles.
Their puns are unreal.
You want to know how many?
Go ahead. Yeah, you go.
You want to know playoff points?
Yes, sir.
Kale, how many goals does he have this year?
14.
12.
13, 12.
So he has 13 goals. How many assists does he have this year?
I don't know. What do you mean? Where?
He had 2 points last year. He had 1 goal, 1 assist last year. So whatever he's got this year plus 2.
Oh, okay.
Is what he's got.
You know what I liked watching the game last night for? I was on Twitter, obviously, watching the game too. Every couple minutes that a game went by, it was only 13 games in history, or it's only 17 games in history. I've gone this long. It ended with only 13 games in history have gone to 4 OTs, quadruple overtime.
I stopped watching after the double overtime. I'm like, hey, they're gonna settle in triple. I was like, I'll watch if it goes to quadruple, but
you can't just skip. You cheater.
Had to. I wanted to play video games.
Your video games?
I hadn't played since I came back. I wanted to hop back on. Play the vids.
Oh. Have you guys ever heard the song Star 67 by Drake? Where it's all up in the six with my wife. You know how to do. Well, anyway, Steve Dangle tweeted, it's stand up to watch period 6 with my woes. You know how playoffs go. And I just stuck it. It was stuck in my head for ever since I read the tweet. I'm like, yeah, it's true. This was the 17th longest game in NHL history.
That's cool.
Longest since 2008. I forget what game that was.
Longest game for Chicago ever.
Do you guys want to guess what the average amount of minutes played for the top 4D for Chicago was? Because they don't have a balanced D.
Average amount of
37.
Minutes, 44.
46. How many did Duncan Keith play?
51.
55.
50.
Oh.
Not crazy?
Yeah.
Hawks are 6-3-1 in games requiring 3 OTs, which is
they played how many
a scary thought to have. A scary stat.
How is that a stat?
How many have they played this year? 2, 3?
2. In triple OT, I think they played 2.
2?
That's crazy. Oh, did you guys see the headbutt goal?
No.
That counted. How is that not a goal? There's a Andrew Shaw headbutted the goal in overtime.
Did it count?
Well, they didn't count it.
You can't headbutt the puck in the net.
Why not though?
You don't use your stick.
Well, why? It's not his hand.
Because you can't
hit
it with your head.
You can't redirect it with any body part except for
if it
your
goes
stick.
off you, it's good.
Come on, head should count.
No,
that's bullshit.
We're not playing soccer.
But that was sweet.
It's not soccer.
Would have been a memorable game.
It's no football.
Not a football.
No football.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, what do you guys think of the series? Who's going to win?
Oh, series? I have a Hawks in 6. Dan.
I had Ducks in 7.
Okay.
Such a hard time picking this series.
I'm only picking Hawks because of the Flyers.
It's the fucking Hawks. How can you bet against the Hawks?
They have a black belt in playoff hockey.
They do.
They do. But someone's got to put him down.
Well, no, here's
someone's got to take him out back.
Guys, they didn't. They didn't win the conference final last year, so like, law has to say that they're in the cup final this year. It's the way it works.
So you taking Hawks?
Taking Hawks in 7.
Hawks in 7. Oh, look at this guy. All right, okay. Anything else to say on the series before we move on? I've watched
Patrick Kane score more goals.
Patrick Kane.
Jonathan Taves scoring more goals. Corey.
Are you asking them to score
Crawford.
more goals?
Stop. More goals.
Okay.
There we go.
Thanks for that, Greg.
That's what I have to say.
All right, moving on. What's our next subject, Greg? What are we talking about? I thought you were headmanning this.
Hockey. We're talking about hockey. Yeah, sorry. Whirlwind day today. Something happened in Toronto. Can't think of it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Argo is officially moving to BMO Field.
Yes.
They had a huge press conference at 11 o'clock. There was totally no other news in Toronto that day that had anything to... Oh, wait. Toronto signs Mike Babcock for 8 years, $50 million.
For stupidly...
An average annual...
Stupid amount of money.
Average AAV of $6.25 million. There's only 2 players on the team who make more. Who are those players, Greg?
Phil Kessel and Phaneuf.
Filthy Phil Kessel.
But pretty soon, Mike Babcock's going to be the highest paid player there. Highest paid person there.
No way. I'll take Phaneuf on the Flyers. I want to take Filthy Phil, but I can't.
Can we trade Voracek and Simmons for Phil Kessel and Dion Phaneuf?
Piss out of here.
And Cloture. And Brainjet.
You know what? You have a deal. Can you throw in a 7th round pick as well? Because that 7th round pick will be the steal of that draft.
I was just thinking, I wanted to say this, that I'm pretty sure that Detroit gets some sort of compensation from this deal.
3rd round pick.
Yeah, that 3rd round pick, guys,
that
3rd round pick's an NHL All-Star.
It's a non-first rounder going to Detroit. It's automatically an All-Star.
I have a funny tweet that I wanted to read, actually.
Let us have it.
Did you write it?
No offense, Greg. No, someone else posted it, but... Leafs hire Mike Babcock. All they need now is 5 defensemen, 11 forwards, a goalie, a GM, a plan for the future, and then they'll be fine.
They have a plan for the future with Shanahan.
One of my favorite comments of the day is, Mike Babcock committing career suicide.
Why? He's making $6 million a year.
Thank you!
How are you? He's gonna start a trend for coaches to get paid more.
Not only that, but
that's why he...
the next coach in line is Quenneville, 2.75.
The reason he took Toronto is not because he wanted to go there over to the Red Wings. It's because he wants to set a precedent where coaches get paid more and equal to what most of the players get.
A coach should
and
be
when
getting
you get
paid
offered
fourth liner money. That's stupid.
And when you get offered $6 million, even if the team's going to be awful for another couple of years, how do you say no?
Yeah, you don't leave a job that you have to go to another job to get paid that same amount. You're either going to get paid more or it's going to be a better, you can go places with it.
And he was very loyal to Detroit because I understand Buffalo offered him $5 million and he said no. Well, that's my understanding is it was Red Wings or Leafs. That's what it was.
I'm just saying that because when you think about it, how hard of a decision it is to make when you're like, okay, well, let's be real here, Mike. You're probably going to last 3 years, but you're going to get paid $50 million. He doesn't even have to work again. He doesn't have to do another coaching job after this.
Who cares if
his career is over? He's got $50 million in the bank.
Sure. I love the move.
That's $50 million.
Leafs to me with that one team, I'm like, I don't think he's going to go to Leafs. So I wasn't thinking about it. And then this morning it was Buffalo ruled officially out. Then every
Sharks were out, and then it was down to just Toronto and Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Another tweet I want to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty funny. Down goes Brown. You might have saw it.
Yeah.
It's like a conversation.
Yes.
I guess they're pitching to Mike Babcock, and it goes, Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, we'll give you $5 million. And Terry Pagula, he goes, so will we. And Maple Leaf goes, input on the roster. Pagula, us too. Maple Leafs, plus every spring off. Pagula, wait, what?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. How do you say no to that, right?
Of course. I think it's great. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does.
It'll be... I would have loved for him to go to Buffalo just to see how him and Kane got along, but...
Kane wouldn't be there. But he wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the only hiring this past week. Even today, assistant GM of the Blues, 3 years. Marty Brodeur.
It also looks like Guy Boucher is going to be assistant coach of Toronto, potentially. They're talking to him about becoming an assistant coach.
Nice, he acts smarter.
And then and then someone else is going to join them as an assistant GM. I just couldn't remember who it was. So they are making moves in the front office, but they have to start addressing that on-ice product. They can't just be doing front office stuff.
Well, you got to do front office to get the idea of what you want on ice,
till
which I love it.
Around,
That's fine.
And they can't do much right now, right? They have to wait till the season wraps up.
Yeah,
before
exactly.
They can...
Yep. Tom McClellan officially signs with the Oilers. That was
good for him.
Rumored forever. And I got to be one of the very few people who were incredibly excited when I woke up Monday morning to news from the Score mobile. It's like, Philadelphia Flyers hire head coach Dave Haxtell. Most Fire fans would be, who the fuck is Dave Haxtell? Me, I was like, sweet mama, I only know one Dave Haxtell. And I clicked the link. No shit. Head coach of one of my two favorite junior programs.
There you go.
UND Fighting Sioux coach Dave Haxtell. It's beautiful. And now, hey, not the first. What?
It's the Sioux.
It's the Sioux?
Don't be
Can't call them the Fighting Sioux.
Hey, they're officially changing their name in like 2015. So, or like sometime either this year or next year, they legally have to change it according to NCAA, which is stupid, considering they've already approved it. The connection would be Hextall's son Brett played for Dave Haxtell. Last coach to go from NCAA to NHL was Herb Brooks in 1987 for the Minnesota North Stars, but he coached a year in Swiss beforehand. I can read you all of his accolades. Basically, I'm jazzed up. What was I going to say?
He's done a lot of good things with a great hockey program. However, this hockey programs he's been working with have had goaltenders and defensemen. Philadelphia Flyers do not have either of those.
And that was they signed Yevgeny Medvedev today.
What?
They signed Yevgeny Medvedev today.
Don't trip over your tongue.
Is he like 32 years old?
He's 32 and he's awesome. He's 6'3", 187.
So let's see.
And he's left-handed shot.
Your top three defensemen have an average age of 34. Mark Streit.
Medvedev.
Medvedev. Chris Pronger.
Shut K. Okay, we're paying him, but he's not like on. Yeah, okay. He
just gives up.
Well, no, I mean he's not on the cap. Like he's not a cap hit. We pay him, but he's not on the.
It's like Nathan Horton.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everyone's got contracts like that. Maybe not the Jets, but
not yet.
Yeah. I saw a few funny tweets.
Toby.
I saw a few funny tweets about this. Well, first off, the quote from Hextall was, they chose the right coach, not the people's choice or the popular choice. So I'm so happy they're not succumbing, they're falling, or whatever, people's choices and like pressure from the public. That's awesome. Hextall knows what he wants.
Hextall's never been pressured by the public. He does whatever the fuck he wants, whenever the fuck he wants.
No, but now Hextall too.
What he did was he was like, "Okay, find me a coach with a similar last name to mine." There's nobody with the last name Hextall who's a coach.
Find me a coach.
Find me someone with the name Hextall. Sir, we found a Hextall. Good enough.
Find me a coach that hasn't been in the headlines in the last month. What's his name? Fuck it, whatever. Bring him here. I want to be different.
Did that just happen? Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. And the Fire fans already have a nickname for him. It's Dave Hacksaw Hackstall.
The Hacksaw?
I can't wait until I'm reading like game reports and like every writer mixes up Hackstall with Hextall.
You can't get a worse coach than Berube, so.
You can get worse ones. He was thrown into the fire, and the season was over in like November. Like maybe not Toronto over, but like it was.
Hey! It only started going bad in December.
Fine, December, whatever. What was I gonna say? Oh, he turned down they offered him the coaching job twice before he finally accepted it. Like this offseason, they were like. They wanted him bad. And Hextall kept going after him. He didn't really... They talked to Babcock allegedly, but that was their guy the whole time, which is awesome. Apparently his stare is just the scariest thing ever. And I'll just close this off with... I read a tweet from a gentleman named Ian McLaren. He's like, in fairness to Ron Hextall, he's certainly not the first Manitoban to hit up Grand Forks in search of a bargain. So true.
There we go.
Oh, apparently the Sharks got okay to speak to Dan Bilesma. So the Sharks are going after.
I heard Randy Carlisle and someone else. Adam Oates.
Really? Oh, it'll be great. You know what? Another thing that I'm excited about.
Adam Oates could end up in Pittsburgh.
What I'm also excited about, just back to the Oilers, is look at what Tom McClellan did to like Brent Burns, to Logan Couture, to Joe Pavelski. They were like prospects. Like they weren't going to be like amazing. Not that they are amazing, but he turned them into guys who covet. You want those
really
guys.
good.
Brett Burns was going to be better than anything Edmonton's got in defense.
Hey, Darnell Nurse.
Wow.
Come on.
Down the road.
No, but it'll be really interesting to see where McClellan goes from here. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about some signings or anything else on your mind right now? I have a few signings I could talk about.
I was gonna go and I was gonna talk some about the double IIHF.
I was gonna toss a coach name out there, Bilesma for Detroit.
Oh,
not
right,
like
because
official,
Detroit needs
but
a coach.
But they're also talking to whoever's coaching their farm team. I can't remember what his name is.
Ah, damn. Oh,
what about Dallas Aikens? Like, did Edmonton just ruin his career? Like, does he not have a chance to get another team?
I think he's in the Claude Noel boat. Like, he's a good coach, but I don't think he's good enough to be a head coach.
I don't think Claude Noel is a good coach.
You don't think Claude Noel's a good coach?
See, but I think Claude Noel could be a good assistant coach, and that's what I think Dallas Eakins could be.
Yeah.
But what we're both talking about for Noel and Eakins, they both share something in common, is they both went straight from AHL to NHL, which happens all the time.
Yeah, but you need that assistant coach.
They weren't given much talent to work with.
You need strong assistant coaches.
Antti Miettinen, Claude Noel's third line when he was in Winnipeg was GST line. That was only the best third line in the league.
Really?
Slater, Thorburn, Glass.
That was the fourth line.
That was third line.
Really?
Fourth line was Miettinen, Wellwood.
The seniors tour.
Antropov, I think.
Oh, God. How far they've come.
Who was that number? Ponikahoski?
Ponikahoski.
Yeah, he was here for a cup of tea and a donut, though.
And then he left.
He was literally here for like 2 weeks.
Okay, so IIHF World Hockey Championships happened this year. And for the first time ever, Canada holds all the Olympic golds, World
Men's
Junior
and
golds.
women's?
No, for men's.
Really?
World Championships, World Junior, and Olympic gold. First time they've ever done it at the same time.
Really?
Well, if you think about it, World Juniors...
Last time they won was 2007, so they didn't have Olympic gold.
And they didn't win the World Juniors in 2002, I don't think. So, it's the first time ever.
Damn!
And they hadn't won the Olympics since 2002 for 50 years or something like that for the Winter Olympics. So, that happened. Canada had a perfect 10-0 record, I believe it was.
Yep.
And they were the first team in the history of the IIHF to win the grand prize of going undefeated and get like 1 million Swiss francs, which is the first year the IIHF has done this.
What do you mean?
So if you get a perfect record, you actually get like a cash prize of 1 million Swiss francs.
Oh, and they used that to party that night, obviously.
I guess so.
Probably.
But did you guys not see the picture of like Tyler Seguin, no, was it Tyler? Yeah, Tyler Seguin in the dressing room, not on the ice. There's one on the ice of Crosby pouring whatever, champagne or something out of the cup. Well, Tyler Seguin's in the dressing room drinking it on his own, and in the background is a buck-ass nude Claude Giroux. The only thing, there's half a towel, and the towel's just barely covering his wiener. It's hilarious. And then there's on subreddit the Flyers, it's they literally have a page dedicated, a subreddit thread, just dedicated to silly things our glorious captain does. And there's a list of 30 links of just the stupidest shit that Claude Giroux's done, and I love it. Because it gets updated once a week, because he's crazy. I love him.
He's a personality.
But, so Canada wins gold, Russia wins silver, USA wins bronze on the back of Connor Hellebuyck, who was nominated by the media as goalie of the tournament. But he shut out the Czechs. Czechs had 38 shots, and his companion, or his net competitor, was Andrei Pavlik, who let in 3 goals on 13 shots.
That's still awesome to see.
Yeah, it was cool.
Especially considering both are back to Jets. They're both Jets prospects or Jets goalies.
Yeah.
Creates an interesting goalie conversation for...
How many games does Hellebuyck get to play next year?
Well, do they dump Pavlik and go Hellebuyck Hutchinson?
No,
well, they can't
too early.
Dump them. Can you buy? You can still buy guys out, right?
Nope.
Yeah, you can buy them out. They just count against your cap now.
It's half the money for twice the term. No, I wouldn't do that. No, write it out. There's 3 years left, right?
Trade them.
There's 2 years left.
2 years on that contract? So this year, next year. This upcoming year.
So essentially, it'd be 4 years of
no, Pavlik's
2.9.
Pavlik's got 3 years left, I think.
I thought he only had 2 years left.
Ride it. You can bury him.
Yeah.
You can ride that. Ride it out. It's worth it.
Because he's playing good enough, guys.
Then Hellebuyck will be beautiful by then, and even by then we'll have Comrie too.
So what do you do with Comrie?
You just
ride him. You ride him. Goalies. You can't rush him.
Doesn't Comrie have another year in Tri-City?
Nope. Maybe. That's a lie. I shouldn't say nope yet. I'm not 100 on that one.
Okay. Because he's 19, right? Comrie's 19.
Yeah.
So he'd have 1 more year.
Do you put him back in 1 more?
Why wouldn't you?
Well, why would
he get? When's his birthday? Because he might not be eligible for that overage.
Let's just say he can play another year in the dub. Why wouldn't you put
not?
it?
Yeah.
He's going to get a starting job Connor Hellebuck's going to get all the games in the AHL.
He's good. Comrie will play for Team Canada again. He did it this year. Why wouldn't he do it now? Wait, did he do it this year?
Yeah.
What? Was
Yeah,
it
he was
Fucali in that?
Yeah, it was Fucali and Comrie.
Oh, but who played gold?
Fucali.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, no, yeah.
But,
then he's got to be. He's got to have another year. What? Junior.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with Junior. Sorry.
But if he's not and we're wrong and he does have to come to the AHL, you got to basically run a tandem between Hellebuck and Comrie because you don't want to stunt Comrie's growth.
What about OC Ucanyora?
I think he's done. I think you let him play over and
wherever he wants to play.
Yeah, kind of thing.
It's getting to the point where they're gonna have to
make a decision, but they don't until Pavlik's contract is up.
Of
because
course.
here's the thing.
But they're still gonna have to dump 2 of the 4 they got.
Could make
That's
moves.
fine.
They could make moves.
They can make moves, but here's the thing: is if you dump Pavlik or Hutchinson now, then you're taking a guy like Connor Hellebuck who is going through his developmental stages right now,
and
you're
stunt it.
And you could stunt it. Why put him in a backup position where he's not going to grow, where he's not going to get better, where he's not going to see the puck every night, versus playing him in the AHL, where he's going to learn how to play in Winnipeg, get the fans to fall in love with him, because we all remember how Moose goalies were. We fell in love with Corey Schneider. We fell in love with Eddie Lack.
And we're going to fall...
We're going to fall in love with
Connor Hellebuck. Moose goalie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. That's so weird.
Yeah.
What you know what was weird is that I don't know why I was just kind of off topic. The Canucks signed like an entry level contract for Jordan Subban today, and I'm like, I can't wait to see. Wait a second, idiot. We don't have that Moose anymore. We have our own Moose. And then I started thinking, I'm like, I get to see all the young guys next year for like $20 a night.
Lapon.
Dan will be there. Dan, you're gonna be.
I'm getting mini game pack.
Or did you sign up? It happened.
No, I will.
Or is it too late?
No, it's not too late.
It's not too late?
No,
dude, we should do it.
I know
we should. We'll talk off air. Are prices gonna... No, was it gonna...
Prices will increase for walk-up tickets, yes. However, do you guys hear what could probably happen next year? Because you guys know AHL is predominantly Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If they, those are normally when their games are, so they'll play 2 games in those 3 days.
Yes, sir.
What they might do is they might do 2 o'clock Jets game, 7 o'clock Moose game.
Did they sell out the upper deck? Yeah.
No, they won't. There are no upper deck.
They aren't even. There's not even a price.
There's nothing for Moose upper deck. It's
only
lower bowl now.
They're only gonna sell 4,000 or 5,000 tickets.
How would they do a cleanup for that?
Easily.
Wait. 2,
do you know
4,
how many
5,
people they
so
have?
you'd have 2 hours in between.
So you'd have 2 hours in between. You open the doors.
About an hour and a half in between, really.
Okay.
But they just hire more staff.
So they leave the upper deck until after, and then normally when you think about most people are they can start the cleanup. They don't have to do anything upper deck. They can do that while the game's going on.
That's going to be something else. That'll be exciting. That'd
That'd
be sweet. Where'd you hear that?
I was talking to one of the guys that I know.
That's wicked.
That's what he's
but even, back to Hellebuck. So, what's the goaltending tandem? Comrie, Hellebuck?
So, next year, for the Moose, it could be Comrie, Hellebuck.
For Comrie?
Yeah.
We got to find out.
Hellebuck's the starter, though.
I know, but find out for age for Comrie, just to see when's his birthday.
It could be Comrie, Hellebuck, and then Hutch, Pavlik, and if somebody gets injured, then you bring Hellebuck up, you let him play, and then you have freaking Comrie as your number 1.
As much as people think Comrie's going to be the Jets' future, I think it's Hellebuck.
I think it's one of the two.
Because apparently some of the scouts that watch AHL said Hellebuck, he could be
the next thing,
the next best goalie of the league. NHL, goalie, best.
All the good ones started in A. Most of them.
If anybody watched, or depending on how much of the IIHF you watch, and you watch Hellebuck play...
I didn't watch a minute.
Oh my god.
When you lead the league, he beat out every NHL goalie in that tournament in stats.
It's not only
that.
It's...
He's
you
19.
watch him play...
When's his birthday?
When's his birthday?
July 6th.
Damn it. Nope. Can't play... No, wait.
He was drafted in 2013.
He'll be 20.
He can't. AHL.
He was drafted in 2013.
He's in AHL?
Yeah, he's going to play AHL next year.
Okay.
Because 16, 17, 18, 19.
Okay. All I was going to say... What?
No.
Okay. All I was going to say about Connor Hellebuck is when you watch him play... I don't want to get too high on him. I don't. I really, really don't. But boy, does he look like Carey Price.
Whoa, what?
Not in
Damn.
The facial features.
Not in that
hair
sense.
Color.
But the fact was not in that sense.
Oh.
But in the fact that when he's in net, he is so calm. He doesn't scramble around the net like Pavlik does
used to
sometimes.
pepper it all season from the Caps. Like, hey, Connor, I'm sorry, man. He's like sitting in the ice bath. Yeah, thanks. You didn't even block one shot this week.
Kostelek as well, because first line D next year could be Jan Kostelek and Morrissey.
No, he's still old enough. But
all I was going to say was
quick.
I just want you can say it as soon as I'm done here.
Go.
Congratulations to Canada. Congratulations to Connor Hellebuck. Great job of Prague, Czech Republic, putting on a great tournament. We saw once again why Jaromir Jagr cannot stop playing hockey because he is just too fucking exciting to not.
Did you hear what he did this year?
No.
He normally plays at 250 pounds of muscle, and this year in the offseason, he's like, I had to lose weight because all my line mates are too fast, so I'm 230. And he's like, well, that's not what he sounds like, but it's like, I'm 230, but I'm playing guys who are like 180, and he's like, these kids are string beans. I'm going to whip them into shape, like in Florida. He's just making fun of the kids in interviews. Just on that note, when Canada won, what happened? When Canada won gold?
They were singing "O Canada"
yeah.
because they respect Canada. Because they did not want Russia to win.
Oh, no, but why? Who wasn't watching them sing "O Canada"? Fucking Russia! Fuck you!
However, I do have to say,
fuck them.
Good on Malkin.
Didn't Ovechkin stay?
Yep.
Good on Malkin, Ovechkin, and Bobrovsky. 3 NHLers who stuck behind to watch it. And
they're going to get
TSN 960 or 950 in Montreal, whatever the radio station is, they had a person on from Russia, and they said how it looks bad on the KHL because it looks like the KHL players lack respect for that format.
Do you see the guy waving him off? Kovalchuk.
Who's the Russian captain?
Yeah. Kovalchuk.
What happened was
he come back to the NHL now.
There was a misunderstanding, and the Russian players believed that they were allowed to just leave the ice after the game. They didn't have to stay because they didn't want that humiliation. However,
I could definitely see that because Russians are super proud people. Everyone's proud, but
but when Ovechkin's on the ice trying to get them all to come back on, he should probably come back on.
And then you have Kovalchuk, who's Kovalchuk, and he's like, meh. This way.
I know. I mean, he's super. I mean, he was prideful when he played.
It's not that he's not prideful. He wants to win, but
you don't want to sit there and take it like that. I totally get that for sure.
Yeah.
But also, what happened in this tournament when Canada won? Crosby is the 27th player to join the Triple Gold Club. He's the 9th Canadian behind Rob Blake, Joe Sakic, Brendan Shanahan, Scott Niedermayer, Chris Pronger, Eric Stahl, Jonathan Toews, Patrice Bergeron, and there's a coach in there, Mike Babcock. Have fun, Toronto. That's gonna be awesome. But he's the 3rd player ever he joins Joe Sakic and Chris Pronger, who have ever won Olympic gold, Stanley Cup, World Championship gold, World Junior gold, and a Hart Trophy. Fun fact about Crosby that none of the other Sakic or Pronger did. Crosby did it all as captain.
Wow.
Of every one of the things that he won there, he was captain of every team. Isn't that... I know...
You want to talk about leadership?
God damn.
You want to talk about leadership? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I
just want to say, he held it... Crosby was a better man in this tournament because he gave Giroux a couple goals. He passed to Giroux! And then did you see Nathan McKinnon? I must have only saw this because I watch everything on the Flyers subreddit. But they were this one lady's like, oh, you put your differences aside to play with Sidney Crosby, and then how'd your game go? And then Nate McKinnon popped over Giroux's shoulder. He's like, oh yeah, me and Sid, we did great. We put our differences aside. And then she's like, isn't it true? And then he's like, no, yeah, well, we had a good game. And he totally brushed the question off. But Sidney Crosby, hats off to you, man. Holy piss.
The other person that's hats off to, Tyler Seguin, Jason, Spezza, Jordan, Eberle, Taylor, Hall. Holy crap, did they have a great tournament. Same with Tyson Barrie, also had a great tournament. Those 5 guys had just amazing tournaments.
There were a few Giroux was very quiet throughout the tournament until later rounds, but those guys carried him. It took me 2 games to figure out who Ryan O'Reilly was. 2 games.
79.
I was like, who is 79? They don't even talk about him when he touches a puck.
I think he wears a different number in everything he's in.
Yeah.
No, everything he's in wears a different number.
He wore 37, and then he went to the KHL, then he wore 90, and then he was 79.
Pick a number, man.
Edmonton Oilers fans were going insane during this entire thing because they got to see what happens when Hall and Eberle are in between a generational center. Buckle up, NHL.
That's going to be a game I want to go see next year, people.
Didn't they play with... They played with Crosby, right?
Yeah.
They played with pretty much everyone, at least once.
But Crosby was their main...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Crosby,
really liked
or
that
even
line.
Spezza for a bit, or Duchesne.
Yeah. Oh, God. Could you imagine Duchesne in the middle between those?
There was Duchesne.
No,
in the
could
middle
you imagine in the NHL though? Just how fast that would be.
Well, maybe McDavid. Is McDavid? We don't know. He's putting up crazy numbers.
Better hope he pans out.
Off of IIHF to Jan Kostelak. Go, Cam.
Oh yeah. Jan Kostelak in the QMJHL playoffs was a top D in points. In 20 games played, he had 8 goals, 13 assists for 21 points. In Game 6 to force Game 7, he had 1 goal and 2 assists, and he assisted on the game winner in overtime, or just a game winner. I'm not sure if it went into overtime. The Rimouski Oceanic went on to win Game 7, and they're off to either way they were going to the Memorial Cup. They are off to the Memorial Cup as QMJHL champions. Oh, and who was the top forward scorer in the Q playoffs?
Oh, Nick
that's
Ehlers.
Right. Nick Ehlers. With 14 games played, he had 10 goals. Okay. 21 assists, 31 points. The next forward who was closest to him was Adam Earn, and he had 22 games played with 29 points, so we almost tied him. But
twice the amount of games almost.
14.
That's going to
14.
be... What's that?
14 for Ehlers.
14 games
31
played.
points.
31 games played. Oh, and he's still got 2 years in junior left.
If he wants to.
Well, that's the biggest question going into next year. Of course, we're going to talk about that later. But
how can't you bring him to the NHL? What is... Okay, we'll address this right now. Do you want to address this right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a waste of time to put him back in junior.
What is he gaining in junior?
Exactly.
What is he going to gain?
Yes.
It's a complete waste of time, and he's too good for the NHL.
And
AHL.
Too good for the NHL.
AHL.
Guys,
Fuck, I hope he's too good for the NHL.
I know, so do I.
I'll watch. I'll watch.
Nick Ehlers, barred from NHL, too good. Gonna beat Gretzky's record.
Too good,
Oh, no.
swag.
Especially if Michael Frolik doesn't re-sign, which is what it looks like.
More and more
that's
every day.
heading.
Yes.
How can you not throw him in that spot? Put him with Blake Wheeler and Drew Stafford if he sticks around.
Put him with
anyone. Whoever.
You know who we're not going to
see
put him
what he can
with?
do.
Jimmy Slater. Andrew Kopp, please.
I'm
Jess,
just saying.
Please, listen
I'm just
to me.
saying.
Man, and Andrew Kopp,
there's gonna
Adam
be,
Lowry, Nick Ehlers line. Sorry to interrupt. That's a nice line.
There's going to be...
There's going to be an opening in your top 6, and Ehlers is not a third-line hockey player. Top 6.
Oh, mama.
Holy shit.
What's up?
Rangers, Lightning, 5-5, 30 seconds left in third.
And the Rangers tied the game.
Palat has 2 tonight.
Okay. How many does Stevie have?
That's Palat of goals.
He has 1. He has 1.
It's a lot of goals. That's good. It's just ridiculous. Oh, right. I wanted to make note of this. No, go ahead.
No, I wanted to know what you wanted to make note
Oh,
of.
I'm going to make note of congratulations goes out to the Portage Terriers winning the hosting.
I was going to mention
hosting
that,
the
actually.
RBC Cup, and they won. They're the first host to win since Weyburn, Saskatchewan won it in 2005, and the first MJHL champ to win it since 1974. Brava. I remember when Jordan Tutu played in this tournament. Nope, I lied. I remember when OCN played in this tournament when it was way out in New Brunswick.
RBC
awesome.
Cup, pretty good job on Portage.
Junior A championships to clear up for you guys.
For Canada, so it doesn't involve anybody in the United States.
It would be equivalent to USHL, I guess, kind of ish.
Not really.
It's like USHL meets NCAA, kind of.
In a way.
I don't know. We have so many hockey leagues. So does the States. But we have the best junior is CHL, and then below that would be this.
Is CJHL.
Yeah, CJHL. Which this is what this is.
Yeah,
Junior A.
Yeah, it's Junior A hockey. It was a good game. I don't really have anything much to say, but I have to say it was good on Portage, good host town, and good on them to win the RBC Cup in their own town, which is pretty exciting.
That's always very exciting. Maybe another hometown team will win a championship this year. Hosting the championship.
Who?
No.
The Bombas.
No.
Bombas.
No.
No.
Our CFL team.
Yeah.
They'll be
Winnipeg
bloody lucky
Bombas?
if
Hey!
they make the playoffs.
No.
I think.
The stadium won't be able to hold that many people. It'll all crumble underneath the weight, right? They didn't actually attest for those extra seats. So what's going to happen is everyone's going to sit, and then they're just going to slowly sink in as the
So
game
what you're
goes
telling
on.
me for the Grey Cup is if I'm sitting with you or Dan or
You're
just
not going with me.
fine.
You got $540.
I'm not going.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to take me for free, then...
I'm just...
Yeah. Okay, if I am going to go to the game, sit in a seat that is drilled to the concrete, not folded.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me? Because I'll fall
Don't sit
ass
upper deck
backwards
either.
into the Jumbotron.
Don't sit upper deck either.
Oh, sorry, I can't.
Yeah, that's
Damn
right.
it!
Stand on the end. Just stand.
It's starting to fall in.
Can I just go stay at your friend's house and stand on the balcony?
Yes,
and
yes you
watch?
can. Yes you can.
Oh, it was a great year actually for Manitoba hockey in general. In Manitoba, there's the Allen Cup Championships, so senior A hockey, RBC Cup champs, Brandon made a WHL final, and they're going to be back next year.
They're built for next year.
Yeah,
that was their goal. They weren't even trying to win this year. It's next year.
And where is it next year? Red Deer? Who's hosting? I think it's Red Deer.
Oh my God, it's Red Deer.
I'm pretty certain it's. I know it's a dub team. WHL. Oh yeah, the AHL coming back, and Moose made playoffs. Pretty successful year in hockey.
Jets made playoffs.
Jets made playoffs. Sorry, Moose never not made playoffs. They're the best ever.
Man, Moose are gonna make playoffs next year.
They will.
How great is it gonna be?
You heard that they're strictly a developmental team, though, eh? They're not signing any AHL guys. Like Jaffrey, all those guys are not signing any of those guys.
No!
They're signing Jaffrey.
They're signing Jaffrey.
No,
don't lie to us, Dan.
They're not. Shipman said they're not.
So they're only going to have
Heising or whatever. No, he said it's strictly for the young players to play.
But Jaffrey's coming back.
They need leadership.
No, they said they don't.
What? Jason, we need to raise Jason Jaffrey's jersey to the roof next to Mike Keen's, which brings me to a point. Number 12 cannot be worn by any Manitoba Moose player.
Why? Kaiser Keene?
Because of Keene.
Well, we're going to retire 22 then?
Why?
Jamie Roy.
21.
Brian Chapman. 22. Is that it?
Are you going to go Maxim Fortunez next? 27?
Yeah. And 50.
Lee Horan?
The guy that played for 2 years for us?
Sergei Shirokov.
Oh my God. Steve Correa?
Hey, remember the greatest...
Fedorov?
Yeah. Kevin Biekska. Do you remember the greatest number 14 in Manitoba Moose history apart from Burroughs? In a playoff run, remember he was like a huge, highly touted prospect, and then we watch him play in AHL, and we're like, wow, this guy's slow as shit. No, Cody Hodgson. Remember how slow he was? We're like, man, this guy's slow as piss. Who's this kid? This is their top prospect? He's a bum. Go Jason Jaffrey.
And
here's my
Hodgson
thing.
never really got past that.
I remember...
Yeah, he really didn't like us.
Going to those games and being like, okay, like Hodgson and Schrader, I'm going to watch him. Injured. Okay, I'm going to watch him. Injured. Okay, maybe Hodgson's back. Okay, Hodgson's back, but Schrader's injured.
Hodgson, grounded by his parents, because his parents like him playing in Winnipeg, and his parents think he should go somewhere else. His parents make all the decisions for him, apparently.
Do you remember when we all went to the AHL game and we saw Nasty Nas and Kadri? Or when Dan and I went to the game when they were playing Hamilton and
It is in Red Deer.
It is in Red Deer.
Okay? The crap on a PK Subban?
Well, yeah, but remember, there was also... Winnipeg's not racist, but we don't really know how to tell apart black hockey players.
Had two guys.
Because they had Sean Bell on their team on the other pair. So, like, PK got a penalty, and then Sean Bell came on the ice, and they were like, boo! And Dan and I were like, that's not the same guy! That's not the same guy!
They booed all the black people. Moral of the story.
There was two black guys and we booed them. We booed for like 10 straight minutes because we didn't know who was who because we're assholes. Different numbers and everything. We're the terrible
Winnipeg people are vicious. I remember we went to a game, they were playing Hamilton in the playoffs, and I think Nigel Dawes, everyone's like, yeah. And then he like took a run and elbowed one of our guys in the head, and everyone's like,
I'll fucking kill you, you son of a bitch! How dare you touch Jason Jaffrey?
Hometown hero went from...
Oh, yeah. We were ruthless. What?
Who did that?
Who hit the guy? Nigel Dawes.
Oh, yeah.
Nigel Dawes and Dustin Boyd, they tore it up.
We all have the very fond memory of Jason Jaffrey playing for the Winnipeg Jets for like 10 games, so...
Yeah,
yeah, you remember every game where he had a wide open net and missed it? Like, remember you and I were at the one game, we were like, God damn it, that was a wide open net, Jason! No!
He was the hero. The only other person that could have, like... people would have loved to have seen in a Jets jersey would have been like Mike Keene.
Mike Keene, in a Jets jersey, right? Yeah. I remember when I don't know why, but remember when you'd like sit in the better seats and like Mike Keene's wife and kids were in front of you, like, whoa, Mike Keene, he has a family. Like, he what? He doesn't just play hockey? Like he was the guy who, in my mind, I'm like, oh right, he doesn't just play hockey. He's got a family. It clicked in when I was like 13. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, there's their family on the ice. Like, I'd see them celebrate. I'm like, no, that's not their family. In my head, it didn't click till I was like 13 till Mike Keane's family was sitting in front of me. I don't know how I got
Celebrities
on this.
don't have families, Cam.
That's how my brain worked until I was like 13, 14. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Your brain still doesn't work properly. It only knows hockey stats.
Yeah, the weird ones, too.
And the intranet.
Yeah. Nick Foligno got named Columbus Blue Jacket captain.
Yeah,
Sixth one in history. Do you guys know who the first one is?
The first captain.
2000 and 2002. He served for 2 years.
Andrew Burnett, because he was the captain of every fucking expansion team. The Thrashers, the Wild.
I know the guy's.
Everyone.
I don't know his last name, or I know his last name. Jeff Odeline.
Oh, mama.
Do you remember that guy?
Not a name I know.
Do you remember?
Wasn't it Lyle Odeline?
Lyle. It was Odeline, so maybe it was Lyle, I guess. Oh,
back in
what else was I going to say? Oh, the Sens signed the Hamburglar, so
they've had 6 captains.
Only
I thought Rick Nash was the captain forever.
Well, he was, and then he left 3 years ago, and
they've only been there for like 12, 13 years, so they must have a new. So if he was captain for like 8 years, and so they'd have like 5 captains in like the first 2 years.
Then they had Adam Foote before him.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
And then they had Will Clark or something like that. Didn't they? Damn, go back. That's a stat.
Let's Google it.
Yeah, you got to Google their captains because that one's a weird one. Josh Harding expected to announce his retirement, which kind of sucks. But was that the same guy, Josh Harding, who played for the Wheaties back in the day?
I don't know.
Oh, you guys didn't watch Wheaties?
He had so many health complications.
But I remember him and Jeff Glass had like the coolest goalie pads ever. They had like wheat like on their pad, like Yaroslav Halak, how he has the slashes across his pads. Yeah. That guy was awesome. What else?
Jeff Glass, the worst goalie. The goalie who didn't mean anything in a World Junior Championship. They could have won without any goalie in that.
There we go.
The backup, Réjean Beauchemin?
Yeah, Réjean Beauchemin was the backup.
The goalies that didn't matter. What? We didn't need them. Go ahead. In order. Chronological.
Lyle Odeline, 2000 to 2002.
Okay.
This one's a shocker. Ray Whitney.
Whoa.
2002 to 2003. I didn't remember he played for them.
So one season, okay.
Luke Richardson, whoever the fuck that is. 2003 to 2005. Adam Foote, 05 to 08.
And then he asked for a trade.
Rick Nash, 8 to 12.
And then he asked for a trade. Hey, sorry to tell you guys, guess where Foligno's going in 2 years? Richardson? Somewhere not Columbus.
Who's Luke Richardson? He's a coach now.
We'll find out. Let's tell me where he is.
Let's dive
Head
deep
coach of the Binghamton Senators.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Greg, why are you yawning? You tired?
Oh man, I've just been sleeping the last 2 days. I only have so many more days until I actually start a job.
Are you still in school or what? What's going on?
I'm done.
No, he's done. He talked about it on the podcast. What friend are you? Dang. All right. Well, it sounds like we got nothing else to talk about. We're going to wrap her up. Guys, so you're taking Ducks in 7, Tampa in 6.
Chicago in 7, Tampa in 6.
I'm taking 6 and 6, Ducks, Hawks. Oh, Hawks, Bolts.
Holy mama.
Go, Dan. Let us have it.
You know who the 4th ranked all-time scorer on the Columbus Blue Jackets is?
No clue.
Fedor Tootin.
Fedor Tootin.
He's the 4th highest ranked scorer
What's
in Blue
their top
Jackets
guy?
history.
How many points does he have?
Nash, 547.
You know what we should do during the summertime, guys?
David Vaborny.
No, who's the next active guy?
RJ Umberger, 250.
Oh, he won't be getting that. Thanks, fucking... No, that was a good deal. I'm sorry for the language. Thank you, Hextall. That was a good deal. Kind of, not really. Go ahead. Sorry.
What we should do in the summertime, if we're really low on content, go through expansion teams and just look at who their top scorers are.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, that could be a segment.
That could be.
Expedition, expansion expedition. Nailed it. I was looking at Greg and he's like, what are you doing? And my mouth just kept expedition. All right, well, from all of us here at Last Man In Podcast, thanks for listening. I've been Cam. This is...
Your mom.
And this is...
Your uncle.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fuck.
Hey, sir! How dare you? All right, thanks for listening. Shoot us an email if you have any questions or if you have any content or anything, by all means, because we're scraping these days. We're getting to the draft, which I won't be here for.
Yeah, way to go, Cam. Way to be selfish.